Saw four really good football games this weekend. When you sit there and you watch these teams, all very good, all very entertaining, what did you see was the biggest difference from the four teams that were playing and the Browns?
I think there's a couple things. It's hard to really pinpoint one. I mean, offensive consistency, I think, has to be up there for me, particularly with the passing game. And we saw some tremendous quarterback play in 3 of the 4 games. Obviously, the Niners Packers game was obviously more defensive, but what I saw was, quarterbacks playing much more consistent and, playmakers obviously getting things done. Jamar Chase obviously was a monster against the Titans. Deebo Samuel made some big plays in Green Bay. You saw Cooper Kupp have a couple of huge plays in Tampa. And then, of course, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Gabriel Davis doing their things in that Buffalo-Kansas City thriller. I think the ability for those teams to have consistency comes down to, quarterbacks being more consistent, playing at a high level much more often, and then obviously having dynamic playmakers to make their lives easier to turn any short play into a big play. Those are huge things. And the other thing also is kicker. And, it's been a decade since the Browns let Phil Dawson go, and we all know how that journey's kind of gone. But, 3 of the 4 games were decided on walk-off field goals by road kickers, and that's so rare to do. Just to have that happen once, but 3 times, we may never see a weekend like that again. So it just comes down to having players who can make those big plays when the moments count, not just at the quarterback position, even though it obviously is more important than all the others. But you got to have those players at all those different levels that can make things happen.
The wide receiver play kind of stood out as well. I thought there were, in each instance, there are guys that were difference makers, and I think that's what you're getting at playmakers. The Browns need to significantly upgrade that wide receiver position in the offseason.
No question about it. It's obvious when you look at the teams that are still playing. Obviously, quarterbacks play a role into it, but even, receiver position matters. Like all 4 teams that are left have dynamic receivers. The Bengals have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Kansas City's obviously got Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and to a lesser extent, Mecole Hardman. The Rams have Cooper Kupp, and Odell Beckham has been really good in a lesser role. And the 49ers, like Jimmy Garoppolo certainly had his moments, but his life is certainly easier when you have one of the best tight ends in football in George Kittle, and then you have a guy in Deebo Samuel who's not just great, who's not just outstanding as a receiver, but he can also put him in the backfield and hand him the football. That's absolutely incredible. And those are 2 stud weapons that any team would be lucky to have. And if you don't have those guys, then your quarterback is fighting an uphill battle, and you're asking him to do I think, too much. And even Tom Brady needed guys like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Scotty Miller to step up. So as much as everybody wants it to be just about the quarterback, it's not that simple. He needs help. And in the NFL, when the margin is so thin, you got to have guys that are going to be able to help your quarterback out.